Welcome to the deep dive. Let's jump right in. Things in global trade have really shifted since late January, haven't they?
They certainly have. A major economy introduced some pretty significant new tariffs on imports.
Right, and that's really put other countries in a bit of a tight spot.
Exactly. It's forcing them to rethink their strategies.
Yeah.
Do they put up their own barriers or do they try to negotiate? It's a real shakeup.
And to help us make sense of it, we're looking at a piece by Arup Bhattacharjee, the profit engineer, called Global Trade Wars. So we do pull or push.
A very relevant title right now.
Totally. So our mission today is to unpack what these trade actions mean and tackle this core question the author raises. Are we operating in a push or a pull economy?
That really is the heart of it.
Mm.
Bhattacharjee defines a push economy as, well, basically producing a lot of stuff and then hoping someone buys it.
Just kind of shoving products out there.
Sort of, yeah. The focus is on production volume first, sales second.
Okay. And a pull economy then is the opposite.
Precisely. A pull economy starts with the customer. It's driven by actual consumer demand, making things people are actively looking for, things they genuinely want.
The author uses this customer-seller analogy, which I thought was quite good. In a push scenario, if the buyer isn't really feeling it, they just walk away.
Right. It can feel a bit one-sided, maybe even pressured. If the value isn't clear to the customer, the whole exchange can just fall apart. It's less stable.
Whereas pull seems more like a partnership.
Absolutely. It's built on understanding what the other side values, working together, creating synergy.
Okay.
It often leads to, well, higher value creation for both parties. More sustainable, you could say.
Okay, so let's connect this back to the tariffs. Are these new tariffs a push thing? Are they building walls like the author asks? Or could they possibly be bridges somehow? What's your read?
Well, if you look at how the World Trade Organization is reacting, it seems pretty clear they see them as walls.
Oh, right. What are they saying?
They're quite concerned. They've stated that this global trade friction, largely stemming from these tariffs, is expected to significantly harm global economies.
Harm them how much? Is there a number?
Yes, they've actually revised their forecast for global economic growth this year down to 2.2%.
2.2. Okay, and what was it before?
Their projection, without these new tariffs kicking in, was estimated at 2.8%.
Wow, so that's zero point 0.6 percentage points lower. That's quite a difference.
It is. It really quantifies the negative impact the WTO anticipates. So from their perspective, these actions are definitely hindering, not helping, global economic activity, more like walls than bridges.
So if tariffs are acting like a push mechanism and have this kind of predicted negative effect, the author's conclusion is that finding ways to create pull is now basically essential for survival.
That's the takeaway, yes.
Okay.
In this, let's call it new situation, just pushing out products seems increasingly risky. The focus really needs to shift towards creating genuine demand. That's the pull.
And the author kind of invites discussion on how to do that, how to foster that pull. Without getting into specifics not in the text, what does creating pull even look like in this context?
That's the critical question for businesses and maybe even nations now. It probably involves things like really deep market understanding, focusing on innovation that people actually want, quality.
Things that genuinely attract buyers regardless of barriers.
Exactly. Building maybe more resilient, responsive supply chains too. Chains that react to real demand signals, not just pumping out volume based on forecasts that might be wrong.
Okay, so wrapping this up, these new tariffs have really thrown that tension between push strategies and pull strategies into sharp relief.
They really have.
And the WTO's numbers suggest the push approach, through these tariffs anyway, is likely to slow down the whole global economy.
That seems to be the consensus view from major trade bodies, yes. It highlights that fundamental choice.
Yeah.
Try to force things onto the market or freeze something so valuable the market comes to you.
It definitely leaves us with something to think about. If push tactics like these tariffs risk harming growth, what are the really innovative, sustainable ways for companies, maybe even whole countries, to cultivate that genuine pull? How do you make your value proposition so strong that walls just become less relevant? Food for thought. Thanks for this deep dive.